Hello, admitted students. My name is Ellie, and I worked in the Joseph Moore Museum. I was a biology major, and I graduated in 1997. In the museum, I used to give tours to students, which has served me really well as a science educator because I got to practice science communication. I loved working in the museum, and I really especially loved learning about the natural history of Indiana. I now live in Oregon, and behind me is a native Willamette Valley prairie in my yard. I love learning now about the natural history of anywhere I live. I look forward to welcoming you to be part of the Earlham community.
The Joseph Moore Museum has such a special place in my heart, and it's such a special place on Earlham's campus. Whenever I tell people that I worked at a museum during my undergrad, first they're surprised because that's so out of the ordinary. Also because a lot of the experiences that I had there are typically only available to graduate students or to working professionals. When I was a student there, I had a lot of creative space and I was an active contributor. And a lot of the students there are active contributors, from everything to programming and the social media marketing. And I worked as a collections assistant, and I felt that I could really make an impact on this little scientific community that we had, and that's just invaluable. I got to do so many amazing things when I was at the Joseph Moore Museum working there. I designed my own exhibit, I designed my own safari-themed programming for our open house, I inventoried birds from the 1800s, I conducted research with human remains. I got to do all these things under the guidance of amazing mentors who really helped nurture me as a student and as a scientist. I currently volunteer as a specimen preparator at a local museum, and I still tell visitors little tidbits of information that I learned when I was at the Joseph Moore Museum. Whenever I visit Earlham's campus, I always make sure to stop by the museum before I leave, and I think that's a testament to the impact that this place has had on a lot of its students.
Working at the Joseph Moore Museum left a significant impression on me. Through the relationships I built with my professors and mentors, the friendships I have with my former coworkers, and the internships I completed via connections made through the museum. It really allowed me to figure out what I want to do with my career in museums, and within a supportive environment, develop a path to achieve those goals. When I look back on my time at Earlham, my experiences at the museum are what I value as having the most profound impact on both my personal growth and the growth of my career.
Hi, my name is Jacob Kempinski, and I graduated from Earlham in 2019. So I started at the Joseph Moore Museum fairly late in my Earlham career when I started as a summer intern after my sophomore year. But in only 2 years at the museum, it very quickly became the most important part of my academic life at Earlham, as I moved from being a summer intern and reptile handler to doing educational programs on the outreach team and eventually performing a semester-long research project into making a program out of the museum's archaeology collection. Now, a year after graduating from Earlham, I am working at a science and technology museum in Milwaukee. I volunteer on the weekends handling reptiles at a nature center, and I'm hoping to pursue a long-term career in museum education, and none of that would have been possible if I hadn't taken that summer internship at the JMM 3 years ago. So I think it's a really special, unique opportunity, especially at a small liberal arts school like Earlham, and I really hope it's one that you get to be a part of.
Hi everybody, my name's Caroline. I'm a senior at Earlham College, and I study biology and Spanish. All 4 years that I've studied at Earlham, I've also worked at the Joseph Moore Museum. And that's been a really fabulous experience, something I'm really happy I did for a whole lot of reasons. I think 3 of the top reasons are, well, first, the community has been amazing. I'm so happy to have joined this group of passionate, caring, kind people who are all coming at a similar common goal from a whole lot of different perspectives. So people from the museum come from backgrounds in history, backgrounds in science, backgrounds in arts, computer science, all sorts of different passions that people have, and they're bringing that together into this functional puzzle that sort of works together as a whole. We also work with the broader Richmond community. So working at the Joseph Moore Museum has brought me a lot of connection and a lot of roots that I don't think I would have had otherwise. Additionally, I'm really happy for the skill sets I've gained at the museum. So working with people, providing programs that everybody is interested in, how collections work in museums, and learning how to best manage those collections. Learning what we can learn from those collections has been a really valuable experience. And those are job skills that are going to be really relevant in the future for people who are museum educators or people who go on to be teachers, people who go on to study something in a museum. Additionally, I have been super grateful for the experience that I've gained related to biology. So in the field, or in the classroom, in the field, and the research, I'm really interested in birds and ecology. And as I've worked in the museum, one of the primary places I've been is in bird collections. So I've learned so much about our collections, about managing collections, and about what birds look like up close and how to best handle specimens of birds for study and for management. All of these things I've gotten from the museum are absolutely amazing for me, both personally, academically, and professionally. And I think the museum has so much to offer to so many people, so it's definitely something you should check out. And it's one of the things that makes Earlham really special.